Hey guys, what is up? I'm Milan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the last episode where I talk about growing your platform as a micro-influencer and just in general. I really hope it was helpful and educational to you guys, or at least entertaining. In the last episode, I spoke all about how to grow your Instagram and your social media as a micro-influencer. There were some good tips for just building your content and platform in general. But for today's episode, I'm going to be talking all about how to build and maintain an engaging audience on social media. By having a strong and engaging following, this shows brands that people like you and people are interested in what you have to say, which can then lead to potential job opportunities. By having this relationship with your audience, it's really showing that people care about what you have to say. They want to listen to you and your opinion and what you want to promote or what you want to talk about, and just in general things like that. So for brands, you're an investment. In this video, I will be sort of touching on the topics from the last episode, but that is because everything on social media sort of just goes all together. It's like just one big circle that just keeps rotating and everything just comes back around. So it will sound a little bit repetitive, but I will be going a little bit deeper into a few of the topics. So to start out with the first step, this is authenticity. Authenticity is something I spoke about in the last episode. It is such a crucial part of being on social media because people really want to see the real you. They want to create this attachment to you as a person and just have someone to look up to that is being themselves and not trying to be someone else. Not only social media, but the whole world is just oversaturated with people wanting to be something they're not at all. Of course, I'm guilty for this at times, but it is all just a big learning curve. So I just want to talk about that really quickly. So when it comes to authenticity, there are two sides to being real with people. The one side is being real in the way that you're not pretending to be someone else. You're not putting on this facade to make your followers think you live this amazing, lavish lifestyle. And the other side is just talking about real issues and being a real person with your audience, because everyone can sort of relate to things in their own ways, whether it's from some forms of body positivity to religion to activism. All of these things, there are groups of people on the internet that want to hear about this and want to educate themselves or become a part of that community. So I'm going to talk about the other sort of real first. This is the people that sort of go on social media and they only post this amazing life that they're living. They're going into their overdraft to book holidays to make it look like they're living this expensive lifestyle. They're renting out all these gorgeous apartments and houses and yachts and everything, but it's all just this fake lifestyle. This is the sort of influencer that gives everyone else the really bad name of being fake and just over promoting things and just in it for the money. But there are also people that have actually worked their whole careers to get to that point where they can actually afford to show you guys this traveling sort of lifestyle and this very expensive luxe life. But I'm going to put those two aside for now because that's not really what we're going to get into. For me, I want to talk about more of the real issues sort of influencers. This is the sort of person that I would almost class myself into, because I do come on here, I do obviously post my makeup and my makeup journey and all of that, but I'm also trying to start talking about content creation, becoming an influencer, and I also update people on my body positivity journey. That is mainly to do with my acne journey, which if you've been following me for a while, you will know all about that, but I won't really mention that in this video because that's not what we're getting into. So growing and maintaining this audience, you really want to show them that you relate to their real issues. You're not just living this higher lifestyle and you're looking down on them. You are one of them and you've gone through things, and you want to show that everyone goes through these issues and you can relate to that sort of like either pain they're feeling or that excitement they're feeling for something. You can relate to that and you can help them, you can talk to them, and you're just bringing light to that sort of situation. The main thing with this is you want to be talking about it in a positive light. You don't want to come onto social media and be talking about this all really negatively and having this dark shadow that you're casting over life. That is just going to really push people away. Obviously, some people will join just for either like the drama or it's their sort of vibe, but in general, you just want to bring something light to the situation because that's going to make people feel good. And it's all about making other people feel good because they're going to know that they can come to you and they can have a good time and they can enjoy the rest of the day and they can just have a good outlook on life. I know it sounds so cliche and cheesy that I'm always talking about being positive and putting out all the good vibes and everything, but it is honestly just how I have found things. The more I've been putting out that positive energy, it's just really come back to bless me in a way. So the next sort of point in authenticity is building that trust with your audience. So when it comes to building trust with your audience, you really want to keep it relevant to what you're sort of about, your aesthetic, your whole content, you as just a brand. You want to keep it specific to that. You don't want to start branching out into, like, I do makeup, but I'm not talking about my favorite sort of cars or books or anything like that, because that just isn't very relevant to what I'm doing. Some people will find that interesting, but the majority of my following don't really want to hear about that. So for me, I would be posting about my favorite foundations and my favorite skincare routine and what I sort of like to do to get ready in the mornings, that sort of thing, because that is relevant to my brand. But with creating trust, you just have to show what you really believe in and what really works for you. You should be promoting activities and products that you know really work for you. This might not always work for other people, but at least you're being true to yourself. You're not faking this whole idea just because you want to get reposted or you want to get your foot in the door. You just want to really show that you're doing this because it works for you. It might not work for everyone, but it's what I do and it's what I believe in. The other point of building this audience is all about building a relationship. You really want to be out there just showing that you're actually active. You're not just posting a picture and you're gone. You're posting a picture, you're getting these replies, and then you're showing the love back. You want to make it personal. You want to talk to them. You want to make them feel like they're actually there and they're with you there, and that you're not just waiting for their engagement and then you're gone and you've had your engagement and that's it for you. If we're being 100% real, your followers are the people that are going to get you to the place you want to be. So you need to be extremely grateful for everything that they're doing for you, because that is the only reason you're going to get to where you are, is because of the support that they're showing you. So you need to be showing that gratitude by replying to them and talking to them and building that relationship. If someone is taking time out of their day to message you or to comment on a picture saying how amazing you are or how much you inspire them or anything, the least you can do is just take a little bit of time out of your day to reply to that and be like, thank you, that means so much, or just talk to them about something. And trust me, they will be so much more grateful that you are actually talking to them and engaging with them, because to them, you're someone that they look up to. So for you to be messaging them is going to be so nice and just so heartwarming. I remember when I first started like messaging bigger influencers, and I still do to this day, and when they actually reply back to you, it feels so amazing that they've noticed you and they've seen you and they're taking time out of their day to reply to anything that you've said. It's just such a nice feeling. So you really have to think about it from their perspective, because social media really is not a one-way road. Whatever you put into social media, you'll get back. And if you're putting the love and you're replying and you're commenting and you're just interacting with other people, they're going to see that and they're going to want to do the same to you. Another really good way of sort of building a following is by going onto hashtags that you use regularly and just going through those and just liking people's work, commenting on their work. And that's just going to get you seen by a few other accounts, and they might see your work, they might end up following you or engaging with you or anything. And that's just a really nice way to just get your name out there a little bit, see some other work, see some other faces that you've never seen before, and it's all from a hashtag that you have used. Another way to really maintain and build this audience is by really consistently keeping them updated. So with me, that is with my stories. Stories is such an amazing sort of platform on Instagram, and it's really helpful. It just makes your audience feel like they're with you in the moment and they're just experiencing things with you. By keeping them updated in your day-to-day life and whatever you're doing just then, it's just fun for them to see what it is you do behind the scenes when you're not just filming. And it also just makes you look more real than just sitting behind a camera, doing some makeup, putting on an outfit. This is really showing where you're going, what you're doing, what you're eating, literally anything you're doing in the moment, and it makes them relate to you that little bit more. I would say to keep them included and make them feel like they're there with you in the moment, but definitely don't overload it. Don't be the person that posts 100 posts in a day or the stories. Ideally, you kind of want to go with about 4 to 8 stories a day. Just keep it really short, really sweet, keep them updated with a few things. talk to them, show them some pictures, show them behind the scenes of what you're doing, just anything like that, but don't overload it to the point where they're fed up and they just want to go. What you really need to keep in mind is that following comes and goes naturally. It is always just something that happens. It doesn't mean that you did something to make this happen, it just is natural. People find new inspirations, they get bored with people for no apparent reason. It doesn't mean it's something you're doing, it just means they just don't want to follow anymore. But don't let this discourage you. I've had so many people unfollow me, but I don't let it discourage me from what I'm doing, because it always means I'm going to have a new audience come in. And that means new supporters, new stands, new ride or dies, literally everything. It's almost like a little refresh button where you can see some new faces, talk to some new people, and just hear about new stories, and just really get that new love and support onto your page. This is definitely something that I've noticed from a lot of smaller creators, is that when things get a little bit tough and a little bit rough, they do tend to just give up. Sometimes it is because of personal issues and they just can't handle it, but that is absolutely fine. Everyone has their own reasons. But when it is because of the following and you don't feel like you're going anywhere, so you just give up, that's when it's just not right. There are always times where I feel like giving up and I feel like just cancelling everything, but I don't. I just keep going because I know that this is what I want and I'm so passionate about this career path. You really just have to think about what it is you want to get to, and if you're gonna let a few people unfollowing you really just cancel your whole goal. I mean, there was literally a time, I think in October, where I was stuck on 7,000 followers for a good month or even 2 months. It wasn't going up and it wasn't going down, and I was just getting really fed up at that point because nothing was sort of happening. It was also the time where I had decided to really post everything and get really creative. It was around Halloween and I did 30 days of Halloween, and I just wasn't getting the engagement that I thought I was going to get because I was posting so much and I was putting so much love into what I was doing. And that is definitely when it gets hard. When you feel like you're putting so much effort into something and you're not getting the response that you think you deserve from it, it does get tough and you do feel like quitting. But don't. Just don't give up on it, because it will just turn around. It could have been something with the algorithm. It could have been that you weren't getting seen as much. It could have been anything. It doesn't mean that it was you and what you were doing. I would just say to keep going, because if other people start to see that you've started to fall off the radar and you're getting a bit less active and everything, that's when the maintaining your engaging audience also starts to drop, because they're going to see that you're giving up on your dreams, and it's going to affect them also. Because if you think about it, you are someone they look up to, and if you start giving up on your dreams, what's that going to say to them? This kind of leads me on to my next point, which is being creative with your content. You want to keep them excited, you want to keep your audience engaged in not posting the same thing every time, because that's when people can get a little bit bored. You want to keep them on their toes a little bit. And I don't mean creating some big magical sort of reveal or something, just keep them excited for what you're going to post next. And this can be done with tutorials or by creating striking and bold imagery. By creating useful content instead of a striking content, you can create stuff like tutorials and advice videos where they want to see what you're going to come up with next, and that is going to keep them on their toes. With creating striking content, they're going to want to see what creative and imaginative look you're going to come up with next. It can always be the same sort of thing, but it's something different in a way. They're like, oh wow, like that is amazing, that is bold and unique, and I haven't really seen it being done before, even though it's your style. So there's the useful of creating the tutorials and they want to see what you're coming up with next, and then there's the imagery where they're like, this is gorgeous, I want to see what else they can create. Then if you're really feeling into it, combine the two, and that is what I do. I create bold and striking imagery, and then I also keep them on their toes with tutorials, and now coming out with advice videos, coming out with face chart videos. Always try and see how you can one up your game. As much as it is about your audience enjoying your content, you need to enjoy your content too. You want to be creating new things and keeping yourself on your toes as much as your audience. So with me, with creating these advice videos, this is something I never thought I would do, but it's something new and I'm excited for it. And I also know that my audience are excited for it too. So it's giving us all the best of both worlds. And for my final sort of point, this is another big thing, but it does does take a lot of time. And this is finding your niche, finding something that works with you, that resonates with you, and you really feel like you can go further with this. And once you have that, just go with it. Run with that idea, run with that concept, run with that style, just go with it and create it for you. This is what's going to help you create a technique, create a style. This is what's going to really put you on the map, and people are going to see you and be like, wow, how did they come up with that concept and that idea and that aesthetic? And it's all about finding your niche. And finally, just to summarize everything we sort of touched on in this video on how to build and maintain that engaging audience. So step one is being authentic, being real, showing your real self, your real issues, but keeping it fun, keeping it light, and just showing that you're a real person at the end of the day. You're not trying to be someone else. You're not trying to fake a persona and a personality and a lifestyle. You're being yourself, you're putting yourself out there, and you're just trying to spread this love and this joy with everyone on your platform. Create a trust with your audience. Show them what you love doing and what you love using, but make it real. Don't fake it just to get your foot in the door or to get a few reposts. Really make it specific to you and what you really love to do, whether that's from products or activities. Just show that you love doing it and it works for you. But definitely keep it relevant. Keep it within your genre. Keep it to maybe 1 or 2 different subgenres inside. So with makeup, it can be skincare, a little bit of fashion and lifestyle, but just keep it in that little community. Build a relationship with your audience. Social media is not a one-way road. You really need to put as much support as they're giving you into them. You need to make them feel like they're seen and like they're loved too. It's not all about you. That is a big misconception about social media influencers, is that it's all about us, it's all about what we're doing. But no, it's just about everyone. We're just here to show it and to have a platform to talk about these issues. And you're the ones who are helping us and making us grow and supporting our decisions. Be active on social media. Use all the different platforms within the applications to really show that you're using it, you're active with it, and keep people updated with your life. Keep them updated with what you're doing in the day, what you're eating. Just make them feel like they're involved in your life, but don't overload it. Don't force it on them and make them feel like, okay, this is so much, I don't really care anymore. Maybe tell them what you're doing in the day. Just keep it general, but don't force it on anyone. Following comes and goes naturally. Do not be discouraged by this. It's just the nature of social media, and it will go through the whole time of being a content creator. You will always lose followers and you'll always gain followers, and that is just how it is. People get bored, people find new inspirations, people just end up unfollowing you. Sometimes they don't even know they've unfollowed you. It's just how it is. But with unfollowers, you get new followers and you get a new community that sort of like just dives straight into your content, and then you just get this new love and support. So don't be discouraged and don't quit on your dreams. Keep your audience excited for what you're going to create next, whether this being useful content or striking content, or if you're feeling brave enough and you have enough energy, combine the two. Create fun tutorials, advice videos, fashion lookbooks, anything like that people can really be excited to see the next one. Or create bold and striking imagery where people are excited to see what you're going to come up with next and where your imagination is going to take you. Really keep them excited, but also keep yourself excited for new ideas, generate new content ideas and new platforms and everything. Just really keep the ball rolling with both sides of it. And finally, find your niche. Find something particular with you, something that resonates within you, that you love to do and you really want to take further. This will really just help narrow down what you love and will bring new audience members in, which will also be really into that sort of a genre, and that will really just start to filter into your work and into your audience and build a strong and engaging audience. And that is it for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is quite a big sort of video. There are so many other topics in all of these episodes that I'll be showing. There is so much more to talk about, but I just want to give you the summary and the rundown of what it is that I've experienced and what it is that I can at least show and tell you guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys found it somewhat educational. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you never miss a post. Check out my other socials, Instagram and TikTok, and I will see you guys in the next episode.